She was the most dangerous female spy in the Second World War, and the Nazis called her the Limping Lady or that Canadian bitch. That's a bit rude. This is Virginia Hall, born on the 6th of April 1906 in Baltimore, USA. In 1933, she suffered a horrific accident where a shotgun misfired and shot her leg into bits. She ended up with a prosthetic leg and named it Cuthbert. She was employed by the SOE in 1941, but this is particularly interesting because the SOE didn't start hiring women until 1942. As an American, she was still able to move freely through France in 1941, which meant that she was the perfect agent. The leader of the SOE French section, Maurice Buckmaster, hired her in 1941, and so naturally she did a crash course in espionage and trained in weapons, communications, security, and resistance networks. So she left Britain on the 23rd of August in 1941 as a foreign correspondent and as an SOE agent. Even though she was trained in weapons, women at the time were actually not permitted to use guns in combat. And whilst her main roles were courier and organizer, she also helped mentor new agents and maintain strong relationships with other underground networks. The Gestapo got increasingly wound up with her because they could just not capture her, and they started calling her the Limping Lady or that Canadian bitch. Little off with your geography, that in 1942, when she heard that the Gestapo was catching up with her in Lyon, her and other escapees hiked the Pyrenees mountain range in 2 days, stretching over 430 kilometers between Spain and France and reaching an elevation of over 3,400 meters. The Pyrenees mountain range divides the Iberian Peninsula from the rest of Europe. And they made their way into neutral Spain, where they were arrested and then let go. And now that America had joined the war, of course, she started working for the Office of Strategic Services as well as the SOE. For those who don't know, the Office of Strategic Services is the predecessor to the CIA. After the war, Virginia Hall continued working for the CIA until 1966. It wasn't until the 1970s that her reputation started to grow. However, her skills, enthusiasm, and everything that she'd risked during the war was not really valued by people that joined the CIA after the war, because they didn't really understand how important she was. She was a trailblazer in espionage, and she deserves to be remembered.